Special thanks to George Goblin for suggesting this video, and all the other people that did as well. I love you.
They knew he would come, as he always had, as he always will, to feast on the blood of the wicked. The Doom Slayer sought to end the dominion of the Dark Realm. Despair spread before him like a plague, striking fear into the Shadow Dwellers, driving them to deeper and darker pits. His power grew, swift and unrelenting.
Most gamers think that if the protagonist of a game has big muscles, big guns, and a pretty cool suit of armor, then he would be able to survive against all odds, but there's always something that will be exposed on the battlefield, and there is no way to protect it. It's your mind. The Doom Slayer, the incorruptible man that fights big demons for a living, versus the Dead Space universe, where big guns, muscles, and armor suits are not enough. My name is Midnight, and today I'm going to analyze the Doom Slayer and the Dead Space universe completely, and see if the Doom Slayer could survive inside a planet infested with necromorphs. Let's go. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and on Twitch, please, and be sure to join my Discord server. Yes! Finally, I did a Discord server where we can fight, where we can discuss lore about video games, characters, etc. Be sure to join, thank you. Before I begin this video, I want to give a huge shout out to the Dead Space lore god, Rono Gaming. He uses his knowledge of biology and anatomy and uses it to make some amazing Dead Space, Metro, Doom, and soon other games videos. Go give them a watch, they are extremely interesting. Also, if you watch one of his videos, leave a comment saying Midnight says hi. And so, without further ado, let's begin. So, could the Doom Slayer survive in the Dead Space universe? Or, most importantly, could he survive against an immense army of necromorphs, markers, and even some brethren moons? But before I answer that question, we need to dive into some Dead Space lore, and establish which are the threats that inhabit that universe. First of all, what are the black/red markers? The black marker was sent to Earth by an unknown entity 65 million years ago. It arrived on the peninsula of Yucatan, and it was the meteor that ended the lives of the dinosaurs. The black marker then sends some frequency signals to the species more adept to be able to evolution to the point where that species is able to reverse engineer the black marker and create their own. This species, as you Spartans already know, were the humans. When the government discovered the black marker and knew that it was able to create very large portions of energy, the government reverse engineered the black marker and created the red marker that had the same capabilities of the black marker. After the discovery of the black marker was the birth of the biggest religion group on the planet, the Unitologists. Altman was a man hired by the government to further experiment with the black marker, and was the guy behind the creation of the red marker, but was later killed by a necromorph created by the government to silence the truth about the red and black marker. The markers are only able to do 4 things: manipulate your mind, cause severe dementia, rewrite your entire DNA, and at the very last of their cycle, the convergence event, where the marker has gathered enough necromorph mass and creates a brethren moon. Pretty much like the Flood Gravemind. The marker is able to manipulate your mind, making you hear voices inside your head telling you to kill, keep silent, drive, cook, poo-poo, pee-pee, etc. The marker is also able to cause severe cases of dementia, like in one of the Dead Space novels or games, I do not remember correctly, where a man imagined that his whole crew were transformed into necromorphs and killed every single one of them. And the marker is also able to reanimate the tissue, rewrite their entire DNA, and transform them into vile creatures that we know as the Necromorphs. There's a lot of different types of Necromorphs in the Dead Space universe: slashers, dividers, hunters, infectors, feeders, ubermorphs, and many, many more. Slashers are your typical cannon fodder, highly versatile with great speed and combat ferocity, yet they die if you sever all of their limbs. The signal of the marker greatly rearranged its body parts, as you can see a highly extended skeleton coming out from the palms of their hands. Infectors attack by injecting you a yellow liquid that begins the necromorph transformation, yet it only works with dead organisms, as the way the liquid works is that its bacteria forcefully invade the bacteria inside your body and rearrange its composition. But it only works with a method of conjugation, where two bacteria willingly unify themselves. That's why the infector only attacks dead organisms and rarely attacks living organisms or humans. Pukers throw hydrochloric acid that resides inside their stomach, and well, everyone knows how dangerous hydrochloric acid is. High concentrations create an acid mist that could kill you if inhaled enough, and direct skin contact could make your hand turn to a bad, awfully used birthday cake. The Hunter is the absolute embodiment of unstoppable power on Dead Space. It cannot be killed by any type of human weaponry, and it will hunt you for all eternity unless you use the engine of a very powerful ship and burn that boy to smithereens. Actually no, the Ubermorph is the actual embodiment of unstoppable power on Dead Space. Nothing will ever stop this big boy, nothing. You never actually get to kill the Ubermorph on Dead Space 2, and actually its face highly resembles a hive mind, so basically you are fighting against a baby hive mind on Dead Space, one that was never killed and may be still the remnants of the Saturn moon. The Brute, highly resembling the tank from Left 4 Dead, is the muscle head of the Necromorphs, using its big body to charge at you without any remorse. The Brute is strong enough to break bulletproof glasses and fast enough to overrun the average human being. Exploders have a yellow sac made of all of the decomposition gases and fluids when an organism dies, and because some of them are very highly flammable, the explosion is strong enough to destroy the body of a fully armored space marine, or space engineer for this case. And at last, the literal gods of the Dead Space universe, the Brethren Moons. The Brethren Moons are literally millions of necromorphs unified with a marker to create a single organism, just like the Gravemind from Halo as well. They are insanely intelligent and can target specific organisms to manipulate them or give them dementia, and if they are killed, transformed into a necromorph. Roughly at the same size of our moon, these gigantic monsters are the Armageddon for humanity, as nothing in our solar system is powerful enough to stop these creatures. And I say plural because there exists more than one, and yes, they are very powerful. They have tentacles that go as high from the ground to outer space, and they are able to use them willingly and freely, a true unstoppable necromorph. Just imagine trying to kill a necromorph that has the size of a moon. Literally unstoppable. And obviously there's dozens of more types of necromorphs in the universe that I didn't mention. Necromorphs are not bind to only the human species, they're able to infect other alien species as well. But for the sake of not making this video an hour long, let's stick with this necros. Although it doesn't seem like it, necromorphs are very strong and durable. They are able to withstand any type of human bullet. Their skin might even be bulletproof. That's why Isaac uses plasma cutters to kill the necromorphs, and that's why at the later stage of the story, the military begins to use plasma weaponry to defend themselves from the necros. Because, well, we all know plasma rifles are more efficient and dangerous and powerful than normal human weapon rifles. But okay, necromorphs don't really die on the game, but for the sake of gameplay mechanics and rendering resources, when you dismember a necromorph, it, in quotes, dies, but in reality, all it happens is that it is rendered useless, as it cannot move. If you take a closer look at the necros that you have killed, you can actually see that the necromorph bacteria is still alive, moving inside the necros. There's a theory that states that when a necro is incapacitated, the marker decides to abandon that body, pretty much leaving the necro hollow of any type of sentient entity. The lore of Dead Space is very interesting. I highly suggest you read on it because it's amazing, and subscribe to Rono Gaming, the god of Dead Space lore. The Doomslayer is an entity that has been fighting the demonic forces of hell for eons. Across his campaign against demons, he was blessed by a seraphim, which gave him infinite power, speed, and stamina. The power of the Doomslayer is endless. He will never get tired no matter the circumstances. He doesn't need to eat, drink water, or sleep to survive. He doesn't even go to do poo-poo or pee-pee. That's great, honestly. But his only purpose in his life is to destroy the evil forces of hell, or even the evil forces that resides in the material universe, like alien species, or in this case necromorphs, even xenomorphs, and pretty much save those who are innocent and powerless to defend themselves. He also has the Praetor suit, a suit of armor forged in Hellfire that gives power to the Doomslayer every time he kills a demon, and even that, it heals his own wounds and the wounds of the Praetor suit. His arsenal of weapons is pretty basic, if I had to be completely honest. He uses the basic plasma pistol, a combat shotgun, super shotgun, a rocket launcher, plasma rifle, gauss cannon, heavy assault rifle, a minigun, a battle-tested chainsaw, and the BFG 9000, which is pretty much useless in the Necromorph universe, I mean in the Dead Space universe, because it is useless against all of the Necros in the universe. And so, the question finally arrives: could the Doomslayer survive against a planet infested with markers, Necromorphs, and some Brethren moons? You know, the worst case scenario in the universe of Dead Space. It's not hard to see the Doomslayer killing Necros with complete ease. I mean, his specialty is rip and tear, ripping and tearing. Most of the human weapons would be useless against the Necros, but weapons like the plasma rifle and the gauss cannon will be greatly effective, or even the rocket launcher or the minigun, as it mow downs all biomass. Even without his weapons, Doomslayer can just take his fists and destroy the Necros with one punch, or take off their limbs with his hands, rip their limbs with his hands. We all know that he is capable of doing it because he is very powerful. He will also be able to fight on par with an Ubermorph or even a Hunter. Yeah, the armor Isaac uses in Dead Space is military approved, meaning that it is bullet resistant and it is completely sealed. Yet, any Necro attack with sufficient power behind it is able to pierce the armor with several hits. The armor of the Doomslayer is able to withstand any type of human bullet, even plasma. It is completely bulletproof, meaning that it will never be breached by any attack. So not even the attacks of a brute, hunter, ubermorph, or even a hive mind will be able to defeat the Slayer. This is where you think that the Doomslayer is able to solo the entire Dead Space universe, and this is pretty much where you are wrong. The strongest and more formidable enemy in Dead Space are the Brethren moons. They are basically markers but at the size of a moon and can move and have tentacles. Their signal is so strong that it can kill a human in a matter of seconds. And I do not mean killing in a way that the human actually takes his own life. No, the signal actually destroys the cells from your body. You pretty much drop dead instantly, and then you transform into a Necro in a matter of seconds. The Doomslayer will be able to kill a Brethren moon, no doubt about it, or at least not die to its physical attacks. But will the Doomslayer survive the signal emitted from a moon? As we know, the Doomslayer is immortal, he cannot die, and he cannot grow older, as his body is constantly rejuvenating. And he was blessed by a very high level angel, because his soul and mind are incorruptible. You can see the mind manipulation of the Brethren moons and the marker as a type of corruptness, one in which the Doomslayer is immune to. The reason why Isaac didn't die by the marker was because he was extremely intelligent, and instead of succumbing to the suicide thoughts from the marker instead decided to use Isaac to create another marker. That would be the worst case scenario for the Doomslayer, being manipulated by the marker to do their will indirectly. But okay, can he survive? Yes, he can survive. Oh, but Midnight, the Infector Necromorph is able to infect the Doomslayer with his yellow liquid, transforming him into a Necromorph, or making the Doomslayer kill himself, because the yellow liquid is like a marker signal that makes humans to get crazy and have dementia and kill themselves. No, the Doomslayer has the Praetor suit, which is completely sealed off, and in his body has an argent barrier which burns with the hotness of the sun, so the Necromorph will not be able to pierce the body of the Doomslayer, even if he didn't have the Praetor suit on. Necros are weak to fire, and the argent barrier is pretty much as hot as the sun, so no. Yes, the Doomslayer can survive! Spartans, please let me know down in the comment section if you like this video. Leave a like if you did, leave a dislike if you didn't, because I like your feedback in the comments or on likes. If this video can reach 1000 likes, it would be pretty amazing, really. And I don't know, I just want to pretty much do weird flex, but okay, but look at this t-shirt, it's from Berserk, it's Amazing! The waifu got it for me and I couldn't be more happier about it. I love this shirt. Even though it's oversized for me, I completely love this shirt. It's from Berserk and it was given by the waifu, so okay. Do not forget to follow me on Twitter, Instagram and on Twitch, because in Twitter I take polls and I take a lot of feedback from you guys. On Instagram you can follow my daily life doing my things, my weird things I do on my room and on my house and whatever, and on Twitch because I'm gonna begin streaming soon. I do not know when, but I'm gonna do it soon because I want to be a streamer. And Anthem is coming out pretty soon, and Resident Evil 2 is coming out as well. And I want to do videos on Resident Evil, lore videos on Resident Evil, on the creatures, and gameplay on Resident Evil 2, and Anthem lore videos and gameplay as well. And don't forget to join my Discord server. And so, okay, Spartans, that is all for today. If you guys liked the video, slap a like on it. I will greatly appreciate it. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye-bye, take care, and I love you very, very much. Thank you for watching, Spartans. I really do appreciate it. Bye-bye. This video was, what, 50 minutes long?